So how do you get a second mortgage? Like, I'm trying to ask for the.
I'm taking money out of my house.
So okay. So let's just say I bought in 2004. It goes up in 2006. I just take another mortgage out and just get the.
You remortgage it.
Yeah.
So you get that second.
So restart it. Yeah.
Well, and that's if you roll the other one into it.
Right.
You know, but if you don't, then you have two mortgages. You have the loan you took. Now here's what a lot of my neighbors did, and a lot of them were young folks. Now I was out there busting my hump. Had a business on the side. Wife was at home raising the kids in California, so it was real hard to keep her at home. Instead of auctioning her off the highest bidder, right? So I was able to create that. However, I didn't see the value in, like my neighbor said, hey man, did you see my new bikes and my new trailer for going to the desert and my new pickup truck? And I was still driving my old beat up, Toyota pickup truck and paying my mortgage. And they came to me, they were at my door every day, bro. They were at my door every day. Hey, well, you can get another $500,000 out of your house, because my house went, the first time I moved, I upgraded my house. The last house was like 330, I think.
You know how, and I know what you're talking about because I read it. I remember reading about this and stuff. This is how predatory these banks are. Piece of shit banks.
Yep.
HBC was one of the big ones.
They didn't care, bro. They didn't care.
You want to know how much they didn't care? Now this came out. This bank ended up having to pay some serious money back because they were doing this. They were single. So they were targeting elderly black.
Oh yeah.
Black
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Elderly black people. Bro, dude, I'm sorry.
Because they knew they were going to loan them the money. They were going to default on the loan. They were going to get the house back anyway.
Yep.
So they ended up getting bailed out by us taxpayers because the banks were all insolvent at that point. And we said, oh no, we can't let that happen. We can't let the banks. So what did the government do? Gave them $7 trillion. And said, here, banks, on top of that, keep those houses that you took from all those people because you guys set them up in those loans. Yeah. Now, again, in the libertarian mindset, we go, hey, those people made their own mistake.
Right.
They did it. They over-leveraged themselves and they couldn't afford it, and there was a crash. But they sold them the dream of a home, and they sold a lot of people in like you said, in the inner cities, people to get out of the inner cities and get into, suburbia and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that it's not all their fault, but they knew what they were doing. It was predatory.
You know how predatory it was though? Like I gotta keep saying HBC because this shit is crazy what they were doing. They got in big trouble for this. They were calling. Oh my god! All right, not me saying this. HBC, okay, that bank. They were saying they were going after basically elderly black people who, and they made sure to see that they were by themselves at the home. That was the big one. They went out.
Oh, dude,
they were going after. And they were saying, he's like, I love these freaking. Oh my god, I'm about to say. They were saying HBC was saying, I love these freaking mud people. They'll sign on the dotted line, whatever. You just keep talking to them enough time, you'll get them to sign on anything.
Yeah, well, of course, because they sold them the dream. Like, hey, you need money for your kids need money because all their
that
kids.
Shit made me so mad, dude. And they went after those people, but they loved people when they actually had their home was almost paid off.
Oh yeah, they were almost there.
They were so predatory.
And they were losing it, and they were losing their house.
Predatory. It's like unhuman level shit. I cannot believe people would do like this. Person is like 2-3 years away from paying their house, and you fucking just steal it.
And you know what it was? There was a lot of young alpha males out there in the real estate market, in the mortgage business
industry,
out there making bank, bro, selling those loans because they were crushing it. They were crushing it when they changed the rules and these guys were crushing. They're all running around in Ferraris and everything else. I saw it. It was my whole neighborhood was the epitome of that. I'm in Southern California, and these people were all entrepreneurial types. But what happened was so sad, man. And the human experience of this, I'll never forget. So my neighborhood is going dry, like sign. One of the houses, the guy was so mad about what happened. He tore all of the pipes out of the freaking house, all of the appliances, everything. He said, you want this house back? You're going to get it back, but guess what? I'm taking everything. He pulled a truck up to it and gutted the place and took it with him and went and built a house in some other state or whatever. But that's the kind of stuff that was going on. So my neighborhood's empty. My son, who's, he's now a grown man.
Yeah.
At the time he was about, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And he had his little buddy that lived 2 doors down. And every day he's over there playing, back and forth, riding their bikes in the yard and stuff. And one day I come home, and dude, this is freaking breaks me down every time I think about this moment. I pull up to the house, and I park my car and get out, my lunch bag and everything, and I see my son, and he's 2 doors down. And he's in the driveway, and he's sitting in the driveway of his little buddy's house. And he's just bawling. I'm like, I go out there and I walk over to him. I said, "What's up, buddy?" And he said, "Joshie's gone." And I said, "What do you mean, Joshie's gone?" And I look at the house, and I notice they moved everything out. They were so embarrassed that they lost their house. They just up and split. And they had
left in the middle of the night.
Left in the middle of the night.
Wow.
They pulled all their stuff out of the house and they left with nobody knowing. And my kid was over to go play with his little buddy, and they lost their house. And my whole neighborhood, that was what was going on, man. And it was heartbreaking to see what's happening. And I got really upset about it too, man. And when the banks got bailed out, I was like, wait a minute. They got the house. They sold the house and got their fees and everything for it. And then they got the property anyway. And then they got to sell the motherfucker again.
Yeah.
And they got our tax money. I go out and bust my ass every day. You guys, wreck my child's life. And you guys are getting stupid wealthy off of it. And on top of getting paid on the scam, you get paid by all of us on the scam that you pulled.
Right.
With that $7 trillion bailout. And I don't see anybody railing about that. Like it got swept under the rug. Like nobody, too big to fail. And they're still there and they act like nothing ever happened. And they ruin people's life. We had a neighbor in another neighborhood that he over leveraged, lost his home. They found him hanging in his garage. Just hung himself. Couldn't take it. Couldn't take it.
Fuck, man.
Yeah,
it's making me sad because I know exactly what you're
and that's what happened. And I was alive and working and in that when it was going on. Now, I had a bunch of buddies, neighbors that over leveraged and bought motorcycles and boats and all that stuff. And they deserved it. They deserved it. And they lost their homes too. And they had to go reconsolidate and everything. But some people didn't. Some people didn't. Like you said, those people in the inner cities that were being sold, or the 80-year-old lady that had her house paid off already, but her kid said, "Grandma, we need some money, and you've got all this money in this house. Why don't you just take the equity out?" And then they lose the family's home that way too. It was a sad time.
I get so mad. Now I understand sometimes they do like this product. I'm not very happy with it, but there's sometimes there's no choice.
Yeah.
There's something called reverse mortgages.
Yeah.
Which I don't do it. but there's literally some old people where they have no family anymore. They don't have there's nothing else.
They don't have family and they didn't have enough savings.
So they have to basically just vampire their house
in
order for just them to survive. And I know super nice couple. I know, and they're doing that right now. And I'm just but there's no choice. That's it. It's that's. But it's horrible. But
it's one of those last resort things, and it's sad, but it goes on. But the predatory part of it is the part that